Hello, my hard-working students, and welcome back to one of my maths videos. My name is Roxana, and I am a qualified teacher in the UK, and I want to share my knowledge with you. If you are struggling with maths, if you have any special needs, or just need to have things broken down for you and see them in steps and visually explained. So that's why I'm here for you, and for those of you who can't afford a maths tutor. So let's get started. Today I'm going to explain to you how to order fractions. And you have to be confident in understanding what a fraction is in order to be able to do this. Okay, so let's have a look at the first activity. I'm actually going to give you an example first before I put you to work. I'm going to take two fractions. A fraction like this and a fraction, you have to say if it's greater or smaller than 5 over 9. Okay, so this is not a difficult example. The trick here is that you can't compare two fractions unless you have the same number of slices here. So imagine you have two pizzas. Here are two pizzas, and you want to, let's just do half of this, and just gonna divide this into 4 parts. Okay, so right now, if you say you ate one slice, see, one slice of this pizza is not the same as one slice of this pizza. So when you say I had only a slice of this pizza, and your friend says, oh, I also had a slice of pizza, if you don't specify that your slice was actually of a pizza that was just halved, and your friend has to specify that his pizza was divided into 4 parts. Okay, now if you don't specify how much it was divided into, you are going to think that you had the same amount, right? You're tempted to think that since you both had one slice, you ate the same amount of pizza. And this is the proof to show you that in order to compare fractions, you need to have them divided into the same amount. So here, if we divide this pizza in the same way as this one, actually you had 2 out of 4 and your friend had 1 out of 4. So you can no longer say that you had the same amount of pizza. Okay, so this is where fractions are tricky. And in order for us to be able to compare fractions, we need to have the same denominator, which means we need to have the same number on the bottom, which shows us how many slices these pizzas had. Okay, and here, in order to get from a half to something out of 4, from 2 out of 4, you need to use equivalent fractions. If you don't know how to use equivalent fractions, you can look at my video about equivalent fractions, which you can see up above, and you can revise that topic before continuing. Okay, equivalent fractions means whatever you times on the top, you times on the bottom as well. So to get from a 2 to a 4, you need to multiply by 2. Then to multiply here by 2 means you also have to multiply here by 2, and that's how you get this fraction. So let's get back to our example. Just gonna quickly erase this bit here because we need some space. Okay, and now let's continue. So how do we make these have the same denominator? Well, usually you need to find a common denominator, and there are several ways of doing that, but looking at these two numbers, we can see that 3 is a factor of 9, which means you can multiply 3 by something to get to 9. If we multiply 3 by 3, we get 9. If we do that here, we have to do it to the entire fraction in order for us to keep the same amount, yeah? So 3 over 9, how is it compared to 5 over 9? And obviously the 5 is greater than the 3. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. That's how you compare fractions. And if you want to order fractions, you have to do the same thing. Okay, so I just saw that we have a similar thing here. If we have 1 over 2, 3 over 4, and 5 over 8, we have to order these numbers in order to compare the numbers, in order to be able to put these fractions in ascending or descending order. Ascending means from lower to higher, descending means from highest to lowest. Okay, either way we want to put these, we have to be able to compare them. If you can't compare these fractions, there is no way you can tell if this goes first or this goes first. So let's just make them be fractions that have the same denominator. As you can see here, obviously from a 2 you can get to an 8, and from a 4 you can get to an 8 as well. We multiply this by 4. Okay, 2 times what gives you 8? 4. 4 times what gives you 8? 2 times 2, and we write the new fractions: 4 over 8, 6 over 8, and 5 over 8. Okay, and now we can order them in order. Which one is the smallest? The smallest one is the first one, 1 over 2. I am writing the initial fraction. The next one is 5 over 8, and the last one is this one, which is 3 over 4. Okay, so I hope you understood, because now it's your turn. So do this in your book, and after that I will show you what the common denominator is in this case and the order of the fractions. Let's see how you do it. Okay, let's have a look at the answers. Here are your answers. Before you mark the work, obviously I'm just gonna quickly show you. Here you'd have to times by 2, and here times by 2, this one times by 2, and this one as well. This one 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 as well. 5 times 4, 5 times 4. There you go. Here 6 times 2, and this times 3. And that's what you were supposed to do in order to get these answers. So pause the video and mark these answers, and then we can move on. This one is very similar, so take your time. 15, 3 times 5, and 5 times 3. Okay, pause the video and do the work. Good luck. Okay, so I hope you managed to do this on your own. This is times 5 times 2, and this, how do you get from 2 to 12? Times by 6 times by 4. Okay, so I am going to give you the answers now. And I hope you got these right. Pause the video again and mark the work. And next, this is the plenary. Write down a fraction between 2/3 and 4/5. In order for us to find a fraction between these two, we need to find the common denominator. The easiest way to find a common denominator is by multiplying the two numbers, but this only works if the two numbers are very, very small. Times 5 and times 3. That gives me 10 and 15 and 12 and 15. A fraction between these two fractions would be 11 out of 15. And for the next one, you can try to do this on your own. You can pause the video and use exactly the same method. Okay? So we times this by 3 and this by 8. 3 times 5, 15. 24, 16, 24. I don't think there is a fraction between these. Because it would be 15.5 over 24. But what we could do is double all the fractions. So the first one, we can times by 2 here and everywhere. First one would be 30 over 48. The next one would be 31 over 48, and the next one would be 32 over 48, and this is our fraction. But it only works if you have the denominator 48. This fraction here is equivalent to this fraction here, because all I did was double this fraction. And this fraction here is equivalent to this fraction here. So I was able to find a value between the two fractions. Okay, thank you for today, and I will see you in the next video. If you enjoyed these videos and you found them helpful, please like and subscribe, and you can also watch some more videos because I have plenty more where this came from. Thank you and bye for now, and I will see you in the next video.